Hi everyone, I'm Ellie and I'm the Research Analyst at the BGSS London office. And for Mental Health Awareness Week, for which this year's theme is sleep, I, along with Tom Silver in the consulting team, am taking part in an experiment to sort of test out different technologies and tactics for improving your sleep schedule. And sleep habits. I currently have a really bad sleeping schedule. I don't have a sleeping pattern. I never have energy. I never feel that productive. I have never woken up and felt like I was ready to face the day. And that could be down to other things, but it'd just be really interesting to see for a few weeks how I could improve that. So this is the start of the first week. I'm going to just sleep as normal this week and track how I feel each day and at the end of the week. And then going forward for 4 weeks, each week I'm going to try a different type of technology or a tip for improving my sleep, and I'll just see if any of them make any improvements. And it'd be really interesting to see if there are some weeks where I jump out of bed and I'm absolutely buzzing, and maybe some weeks where I feel like an absolute slug like usual. So yeah, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. So I'm back again at the end of week 1. I've just finished the first week of the sleep experiment, and I didn't use any technology to aid my sleep at all, and I noticed such an impact on my sleep. I forgot that I normally do use a blue light filter on my phone, and it comes on automatically at 10 o'clock every night, and I had to turn that off every day, and it was so heartbreaking towards the end of the week because my sleep was just horrific. By the weekend I was absolutely exhausted. I just found it so hard to fall asleep. I am guilty of using my phone before I go to sleep, which is something I should stop. But yeah, I was using it every night before I went to bed, and I just could not fall asleep for the life of me. And then waking up was such a struggle. I found myself snoozing my alarm so many times, which I wouldn't normally do. I'm not one to snooze. I might lay in bed on my phone for a bit, but I will get up. I'll be awake. So that was really interesting. But going into this next week of the experiment, I will be putting back on the blue light filter on my phone before bed and just sort of taking note every day of my energy levels and my productivity, and things like that, because I noticed those being affected a lot last week. So I started the week off every lunchtime wanting to go for a run. Then by the end of the week I felt so sluggish, a bit headachy. One day I actually almost felt a bit unwell because I'd had so little sleep. I think I had about 4 hours, and then had to do a full day of work the next day. So yeah, it wasn't I guess it was a successful first week, because it was a really good control week to work with, but it was unsuccessful in the fact that I am knackered. But here goes the second week, and I'll let you know how it goes. Hi, so it's now Monday of week 3. I finished week 2, which was using the blue light filter on my phone every night. It came on automatically at 10 o'clock, and I did notice a difference. I wouldn't say it was miraculous, but I would say that I definitely found it easier to fall asleep, and I was snoozing my alarm less when I woke up. I wouldn't say that the quality of my sleep was necessarily improved, but I didn't feel anywhere near as exhausted as I did in week 1. So that's a start, that's positive. This week I will be doing meditation every day for 7 days. The technology I'm using is an app called Calm. So Calm actually has a free 7-day trial, which is really useful, and they've got quite a few 7-day programs. So 7 days to build your self-esteem, 7 days to relieve anxiety. I don't think of myself as that much of an anxious person, but I think anxiety and stress can be things that you harbour without realising, and they might not be that harmful, but they're still doing something to affect your sleep and your mental health. So I'll be doing a 7 days of Calm, of relieving anxiety. It's only about 10-15 minutes every day, and I have to say I'm a bit of a skeptic about meditation, purely because I have tried it before and I just have such a constantly sort of on the go wired brain that I find it so hard to not be thinking about loads of different things. And I often get quite frustrated with meditation because I think, oh, for God's sake, I just can't concentrate on not concentrating on anything. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if by the end of this week I'm a bit of a meditation guru and if my sleep has improved at all. So I've reached the end of week 3 now, which was my meditation week. And I have to say, I was very, very pleasantly surprised by my results. I was doing sort of 10-15 minutes meditation before bed every night. And as much of a skeptic as I slept like a baby. I found myself instantly tired as soon as I sort of stopped the meditation session and would, fall straight asleep, wake up 8 hours later. And I definitely had more energy, I felt more productive, I did more exercise. Over the bank holiday weekend, I just got up to so much because I felt like I just had so much energy and so much motivation, which was amazing. So yeah, really great results from the meditation week using the Calm app. This next week is using a sleep podcast. So I think the one I've chosen is Get Sleepy, and they have 45-minute long stories that they read in a very relaxing voice. They start off with a very quick couple of minutes just breathing, relaxing exercise, and then get into the story later on. And so yeah, I'll be listening to one of them every night before I go to sleep, sort of similar to the meditation one, but it's obviously longer and you're not as active, you're quite passive in the process, you're just eyes closed listening. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. So it's the end of week 4. I finished my week of listening to a sleep podcast every night before bed, and it wasn't the most impressive week, to be honest. I definitely fell asleep easier whilst listening to them, but I think, the nature of a sleep podcast, it's up to you when you listen to it, and it didn't really make a difference to how early I was falling asleep. It was just when I decided to put my phone down, eventually I'd put on a sleep podcast. So falling asleep was definitely easier, but it wasn't a revolutionary tip. It wasn't something that I'd care to carry on after this week. Could work for some people though if you get into that routine of putting it on at a certain time, because you have to, you put your phone down and just close your eyes and listen to the podcast. It might work for some people if you get into a routine of doing that at a certain time each night. It just doesn't really suit me. But this next week, week 5, I'll be using my Lumie Bodyclock, which is a lamp/alarm clock that imitates a sunset when you fall asleep and then a sunrise when you wake up. So it's meant to be a lot better at, pulling you out of sleep slowly, instead of just, abruptly pulling you out with an alarm, which I know always used to make me feel so groggy before I used this. My alarm would always wake me up in the middle of in a weird part of my sleep cycle, and I'd feel so tired and lethargic. Whereas with this, with the sunrise, your body sort of slowly starts to wake up, and it's far less of like a sudden shock to the system. So yeah, I'll be using this every night, and I'll be hopefully using it at an appropriate time every night, so I'm not really tired. But yeah, I have high hopes because I love this thing. So, end of the final week. It's been a very interesting experiment. I've lost a lot of sleep. I just finished a week of using the Lumie Bodyclock every night and every morning to wake me up, and it was fab, to be honest. I think less so for the falling asleep. It wasn't quite enough to make me fall asleep really easily, but in the mornings I felt so much better waking up to something really gentle and something that's sort of imitating nature, I guess, as opposed to a really loud alarm clock. So definitely really liked that. I'd say overall the best things were, I'd say on a sort of very basic level, the blue light filter, definitely necessary. So we'll be using that every night. Meditation, I really want to carry on with actually. I was so pleasantly surprised by how much better I slept after having used that. So I think for getting to sleep, meditation will be the one. And then my body clock will be amazing for helping me wake up and just be in a better mood and feel more productive. But as I said at the very beginning, I've never had an amazing sleeping pattern, never made like a proper habit out of when I go to sleep and when I wake up and the things I do. So I've never really noticed anything different in my productivity and motivation because I've never recorded it. But this experiment and, waking up every day and assessing how I felt at the end of the day, how I felt at the end of the week, has made me realise just how important sleep is. And that sounds stupid, but I think it's so easy for people who, live busy lives and like have jobs in the city and everything. You just think like, I can get by on 5 hours just fine. Like I've done that so many times, but I really noticed how different each week was based on the success of the technology or the new tactic I was using. So yeah, that's been incredible. There were weeks when I did loads of exercise and then weeks where I felt like an absolute potato, and weeks where I got loads done, and then other weeks where at the end of the day on Friday I'd think, what have I really achieved this week? And it's a bit deflating. So it is huge for productivity, motivation, general happiness, and overall health. I'm actually really excited that I've done this and I can figure out a way better and a much more healthier future for my own sleep. And I hope that this may be helpful to some, to sort of encourage you to go out, try some things. Maybe you'll sleep better. Maybe you'll achieve as much as I hope I do in the future. But thank you for following me along this journey for 5 weeks. It's actually just 5 videos for everyone. And I'm so excited to sleep properly again. Woo! Thanks.